What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there killing it on the poker tables. Had a short session last night, got a couple hands that we can look at, but first we are going to take a look at our overall poker play, do some analysis within Holdem Manager, look at some reports, and see what we can learn about how we've been playing and how we can improve or where we can be maximizing our poker gains to try to accomplish our poker goals. Let's jump right into it. We are currently looking at the overall graph by big blinds. You can see that we have had a pretty steady incline here. A couple ups and downs in there. We've got quite a few 10 buy-in swings, maybe some 20 buy-in swings like over here. But overall, pretty good. We are currently over 321,000 hands. That is pretty impressive. Averaging about 70,000 hands a month. That again is pretty impressive. And if we are trying to accomplish the 100K goal in a year, we are going to have to keep up with that, if not increase that workload. Now looking at the poker play by stakes, you can see that we are winning on pretty much every stake level that we've played. Just started at the 1-2, so we only have 4,000 hands in the 1-2. We're only up one buy-in. Not a huge sample size there. Haven't done that great at the 50-cent dollar. We had a rough run over the last week or two here, so I don't think this really interprets how we've done overall. I think we just ran into some variance over the last week or two. I'm pretty sure we lost close to 10 buy-ins at the 50-cent dollar over the last week. But as we can predict, we've done much better at the lower limits, and it has decreased at a pretty tremendous rate as we move down, or as we move up in the limits. Just a quick glance at our multi-table report. A lot of people have been asking me lately how I can manage playing 20 plus tables at a time, and this might show you that I really can't manage. We can see some red numbers here once we get above 15 tables, so maybe that's the threshold that I need to keep it under, is 15, 16 tables, where I start losing focus and I cannot concentrate fully on the poker game. And maybe I should be sticking to, more towards the 14 and below. The sample sizes are not quite getting there yet, but we're doing pretty well. It looks like most of our hands are being played with 12 to 11 tables. Big sample sizes there, and we are winning at a very high rate of over 5 big blinds per 100 from most of the tables between 8 and 14 tables simultaneously. But this is something you guys need to be looking at if you're trying to multi-table a bunch. Look at this, because this will show you whether you're doing better with the multi-tabling or whether you should concentrate on a smaller amount of tables. If your win rate is going to be that much higher at a smaller amount of tables, it is well worth it to play a smaller amount of tables and sacrifice a little bit on the volume end. Now we're taking a look at the table size, the number of players on each table. We've done really well when playing against 7 to 9 opponents or 7 to 9 handed tables. Not so great on the short-handed, the 5 and 6. We've had a slightly negative win rate, but we are showing positive win rates when playing 4 to heads up. So maybe the smaller sample sizes down here in the short-handed tables haven't quite caught up, but it looks like our sweet spot is going to be playing 7 to 9 handed poker. Now we're taking a look at the stack size report, and it looks like anything above 60 big blinds we are doing really well. And at the short handed, we don't have many hands under 40 big blinds, only 4 hands total, and from 41 to 60 big blinds we've got 11,000. Those are the short handed tables, the 50 big blind buy-in tables, and we have a slightly negative win rate at those tables. That could be caused by the rake to your stack size ratio. You're limited to how much you can win, but the rake is going to be taking a larger percentage of the pots that you win when playing short stacked. So that could be a cause for the slightly negative win rate there. It definitely does not help. You can see that when we move up in our stack size, we've done better. So for us, it pays off to be playing in very deep stacks and trying to avoid short stack tables. I have actually turned off the short tables in my ring game filters so that I'm only seeing the standard buy-in tables. And now we're taking a look at the day of the week report. This is one that I am very intrigued by, and I've taken a look at quite a bit lately. And from what I have come to see, we still have a positive win rate from Monday through Friday, but it is ranging from 2.13 on Monday all the way up to our best 3.68 on Friday. But Saturday and Sundays are off the charts. We are at a 6.19 and a 10.62 on Sunday. I think we can attribute this to more weekend and recreational players obviously playing more on the weekends, and therefore we're getting in more poker against a weaker player pool on the weekends and increasing our win rate. Those 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, happen to be our lowest volume days though. It looks like most of our poker playing is being done from Monday to Friday, probably because that works into my schedule the best. You know, you have a lot of things going on weekends, and that does not permit you to play as much poker. But maybe I should be looking into this and be planning more poker concentrated days on the weekend and less during the week to help increase our win rates and productivity on the virtual poker tables. These reports are things you guys need to be looking at though to analyze where you're playing your best poker and how you can be improving by game selection, by stack selection, by volume. There's so many factors that go into how you should be playing poker and how you can be increasing your win rate. And you guys need to be looking at all of this stuff so you are putting yourself in the best opportunity to be making money at poker and to be improving your game and to be moving up in the limits. Taking a quick look at the Beast leaderboard from last week, we finished with a little bit over 4,100 points on the Beast leaderboard, putting us in 144th place. Not too shabby. We got a $100 cash prize, an entry into the PCPC 5-package guaranteed satellite tournament. We cash in on the points, and we're getting some solid poker in there. Now let's take a look at a couple hands from last night's session. We had a pretty low volume session, just a quick, a little over 2-hour session, got about 1,000 hands in, and had a profit of $14.60. First hand we're going to look at is Ace King in the big blind at a 100 NL table. Full draw in the middle position who puts in a raise of 3x, and we get a 3-bet on the button from a regular. And we have a choice here with the Ace King from this player who plays a very polarized 3-bet range but does not fold very often at all to 4-bets. We are not in a great spot with the Ace King. If we put in a raise here, there's a good chance this player will make a call. So let's put in a big raise if we're going to, and put this player on a decision where they are either going to be jamming or folding. They are going to be pot committing themselves or folding their hand. And we can't forget about this person over here, Have No Hair, who seems to be a recreational player, pretty loose numbers, and we will probably be ahead of most of this player's range when we do make a raise and get in a pot with them. And Ace King is not really a hand you want to be just calling with out of position. It doesn't play that great post flop, because if an ace or a king comes on the board, those are scare cards, and a lot of the hands that people are going to be 3-betting with are going to be jacks, queens, and some ace queens, ace kings themselves. And if this player is playing a polarized range, the low cards, but a lot of those hands are going to be scared by an ace or a king on the board. So it's better to play the ace kings with a lot of aggression pre-flop. So we put in a 4-bet of $24, 2.4 times his 3-bet. We have very tight numbers. This represents a huge hand. If they make this call, there's going to be 5150 in the pot, and we only have 76 behind. Pot committing us, pot committing Aaron Vega, and we can either decide to slow play or continuation bet post flop, depending on how the flop runs out and connects with our hand. But we wind up getting a fold from both players and picking this pot up pre-flop. I am totally fine with winning this hand pre-flop. I think it worked out pretty well. I thought this was a very interesting hand. We have pocket kings in the hijack seat. We get a limp from under the gun, and we put in an isolation bet of $5 5x, and we get 3-bet by the cutoff player to our left. It is a 2.8 3-bet to $14, and this seems like a very strong play, and our kings play pretty well against this player's 3-bet range. I don't want to get some folds from this player who could have the tendency to fold a lot of strong hands when facing a 4-bet from us, so I do just make a call here. There's $30.50 in the pot from a player who tends to 3-bet a lot of strong hands and doesn't play that much of a polarized range. This flop connects really well with their range. The only hand that we are really ahead of right now is going to be pocket jacks, ace queen, and ace king. So I just checked back and they put in a continuation bet of $16, a little bit larger than half pot. I just make a call here. The turn is the jack of spades. The ace king now got there and the pocket jacks got there. So the only hand that we are really ahead of in this player's range is going to be an ace queen here, or very rarely a king queen. Our opponent checks back though on the turn, making me think that there is a chance this player has something like an ace queen, and I know that I am going to be in a very tough spot if I check back here and this player puts in a strong value bet. There's a good chance I'm not going to be able to find that fold button. I'm going to be calling, even though I just talked about all the hands that could wind up beating me, and there's not that many that I beat. This is such a weird spot, so I decide to put in a little bit of a blocker bet here. I make it $24 to go on the river, and I think this bet is going to save us money in the long run. If we check back, we are most likely going to be facing a bet larger than $24, and if this player does have a hand like ace queen, there's a good chance they're not going to be folding that to a bet of $24 either. They're probably going to be calling with king queen, ace queen, and if they do have something like ace king, they're obviously going to be raising. We can get rid of the kings. If they have a set of queens, they're probably going to be raising. Set of jacks, they're going to be raising. Aces, they're probably just going to call, but they could wind up betting aces for value if we check back. So we do get a call. It was kings up against aces. I think we played this one pretty well. We only wound up getting into a pot of 110 when it obviously could have been much deeper. We still have 70 in our stack. So I think we played this one pretty well and minimized our losses and put us in an opportunity to actually get a little bit of value from some of the hands that we beat with this blocker bet and to save us more value from the hands that we lose to. But remember, when making this play, you should be doing this with all parts of your range too, so people can't find you too predictable. If you're only doing this with your weaker range, then there's going to be a lot of people who might catch on to it and might start raising you on the river just to get you off of hands just like this. So if I did have something like an ace king here, this is the type of play you want to be throwing in there once in a while as well. And you guys know I throw in those thin value bets on the river with some strong hands just to keep that balance. All the poker report analysis and session reviews are done on Holdem Manager. If you do not have Holdem Manager, I highly suggest downloading this program and using it when playing poker. The link for Holdem Manager is down in the video description. Click that subscribe button if you guys have not done that yet. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave any comments or questions down in the comment section below. And I will be back with a new video very soon. But until then, I will see you guys out on the virtual felt.